All right. I got to be careful because now recording is in progress. I got to be careful what I say, right? So now now that the recording is in progress, let me start a little more formal, right? No, I'm just kidding. First of all, there you are, PDG Barry and Carolyn. I know PDG Sparky is not here, but I would like to still acknowledge PDG Sparky and Lori. We have President Brett. We have our President-elect Jennifer, and I got some great news for you, Jennifer. I think Henny will share that with you later. We also have Assistant Governors Henny and Ken is right there. And please give a round of applause to both Henny and Ken because they have done an awesome job in planning and coordinating. And I just casually mentioned to them about 2 weeks back. If they can do this great planning and organizing implementation in 2 weeks, can you imagine what they can do if more time? And before let me get my phone so that I'm not going, is 10 minutes starting now? Is that okay, Brett? Well, let me, all right, good. Ken was sharing with me this morning about the common things, and many of the things that he mentioned to me, I didn't know. But what I found out was both me and my wife, many of you may know my wife, Roma. She's also district membership chair. She could not be with us today because of our commitment to take care of our grandson yesterday. Both Roma and I started at General Motors many, many years ago at a place called 1301 North Dart Highway in Flint. Ken did some research on not only Flint, I mean, he's an abundance. I told him he's a wealth of walking history about Chatham. I told him he should write a book on that. And he said there's a strong connection between Chatham and Flint. And he talked about Bill Gray and a lot of the other people. I didn't know. So something new I learned today. And I'm so glad that I go back to home in Troy, I can share that with Roma. She said, oh, I'm glad you learned something new today. So let's see. We have, I already mentioned about Henny. We have Allison Case. We have Les. And then we have here Brad. We have Paul, Karen, Janet. And then who else did I miss? Oh, on that table, we have Andy, Jane, Charles, Gordon, Tony, Jennifer, and Ed. Let's see. Oh, on the Zoom, we have Peter, Ashley, and Chandra. And we have the books behind Chandra. That's great. So at the end of this, we're going to somehow take a picture of the Zoom people and the people here, or maybe we'll do 2 pictures. Thank you all for being here to listen to a few of the things that I want to share with you this afternoon. Talking about this afternoon, Wednesday noon has a very close connection for me. So I'm here on Wednesday noon. Our club, Troy, meets on Wednesday noon. The club I was in Washington, D.C. meets on Wednesday noon. The club I was in Detroit meets on Wednesday noon. So there's so much of common things about Wednesday noon. I'm not here to talk about that, but what I wanted to share is this whole aspect of the experiences that since we get up in the morning till we go to bed. And that's one thing that's common to all of us, and that is happiness. Who all want to be happy? Who all not want to be happy, right? So that's one thing that brings all of us, not only as normal human beings, but also as great Rotarians. Now, why do I say that? When we wake up in the morning, not only we want to be happy, but as Rotarians, we want to serve. We want to give. Now, when I say give, some people may think, oh, he's talking about writing a check. No, I'm not talking about writing a check. It could be that I said something that I did something I'm not supposed to. Oh, that must be the alert. Okay. So I'm talking about love, compassion. I'm talking about peace, spirituality, wellness and health, and happiness. For example, we know somebody's not doing well, either in our own family or somebody in the hospital. We want to give them an abundant compassion, make them feel good. Or even somebody's not in an upbeat mood. We go and say hello to them and we talk to them so that they can get out of that not so good mood and upbeat mood. That's compassion. That's what Rotary is all about. We give love to other people. We want to love ourselves. Now, why do I say that? The ultimate source of happiness is within us. You heard that from the Holy Dalai Lama. So we have to love others. We have to be in peace with ourselves before we start loving others. And you also have heard of this. Happiness is when what we think, what we say, and what we do are in complete harmony. Now, what does that mean? When we start in the morning, we're thinking of a lot of different things. And then we're going to be saying a lot of different things during the day. And then we're also going to bring them together. So as long as they're all in harmony, then it's a happiness journey. When we go to bed, we feel really not only good, but we say we accomplished these three things. Whether we are doing, and I'm not talking about the professional thing, because all of us do those things. We have to do it. But I'm talking about the service aspect as members of Rotary, as great Rotarians. And that's why we are all, whether we come together every Wednesday or Brett was talking about the great bingo you had and you collect a lot of money and that money goes to fundraising. He said almost $3,000 a month. Wow. Give yourself a round of applause for that. And you're all doing that because you want to serve the community, because you want to reach out and touch somebody. You want to make them a better person, not better person from, not that they're not good or anything, but they may need something. That's what Rotary is all about. The power of service and giving. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about all the other things kind of fall in place. For example, our giving to the Rotary Foundation. Some of us may have time to go and be part of a community service project, and your club has done lots and lots of district grants and global grants. But somebody has to write it, but we also need to open up our hearts and checkbooks to write that so that it goes to the Rotary Foundation. And you all know about, I don't know, I'm preaching to the choir here, you all know about how wonderful the foundation is. Half of the money comes back in 3 years in the form of district designated funds. And we make the best use of it. Some people ask me outside of Rotary, how much further does the dollar go? I tell them, for every dollar you give, we have at least $2 or $3. Wait a minute, Red Cross, I'm not belittling Red Cross or anything like that. They take percentage because of administration. I say here in Rotary, not only $1, but all the professional services and all the other things that come in, the technical assistance and all that, which the members give it at no charge. So that's so every dollar, $2 or $3. I'm not even talking about the Bill and Melinda Gates match. Now that's a totally different story. The polio, you people have done a great job. So if you put all of that together, what do we experience? The experience is not only pleasant, it's exciting. I would say it's enchanting. You know why? Because we are so passionate about what we do. And if you combine the passion with the happiness, it's nothing but enchantment. And that enchantment leads us to not only be loving, compassionate, being in peace with us so that we can serve others, spiritual, not in the religious context, but spiritual within ourselves and outside, which leads to wellness and happiness. And that drives the joy of service and giving. So I want to thank you all for giving me an opportunity to share a few of my thoughts. And today, this afternoon, I'm going to wrap it up and head back home, but this is also my home. I've been an exchange student many, many years ago. And at that time, I was living in Canada on the west side called Victoria, British Columbia, the Garden City. I don't know if it's still the Garden City. And I was billeted in a Canadian family. Now, if you tell my American friends, don't tell them this, they wouldn't know what billeted means. It's a Canadian term, I think. So I was there. And also, I'm so proud to share with you that I was also a Rotary Foundation scholar, thanks to all of your contribution to the Rotary Foundation. And now we were benefactors then. And now we are on this side so that we can not only serve, we want to give and make the Rotary Foundation continue its legacy to provide benefit to other youngsters and other people like me many, many years ago, and also to all the global grants, the district grant, and the youth exchange program, and so on and so forth. And your club has been a major, I would say, contributor to the whole joy of service and giving. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time too. And if there are any questions, if you have time, I can take.
Yes. Any questions for Bala? Oh, you're getting off easy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sorry, forgot Barry.
Brother Brett and just Governor-elect Bala. So you talked about this side, that side, your side, over here.
We just want our guest here to.
District Governor-elect Bala, you've talked about this side and that side, which is your side. You've been here for 3 days and you've had contact with now the 6 clubs over here. Apart from the element of happiness, so what is your biggest takeaway going back to the other side? Apart from the memories that you'll have at the customs and the memories that you've had over here?
Thank you for your great question, Pastor District Governor Barry. A couple of things I'm going to key takeaway is at least 2 of those amazing things. Pastor District Governor Barry, if you can please rise for a minute. He's a miracle man. You know why? At least 2 things I found out yesterday. In Beijing, China, he missed boarding a train that Carolyn was on and so many other people, but by golly, he made it to another train, a milk run train, I was told, but met them next day. And that can only happen through miracles. I thought I was an avid traveler, but forget about nowhere comes to that. The second one, he has traveled, he's crossed the border and come back without Carolyn's passport in hand. You can't beat that. Okay, those are at least 2 things I will definitely share that with a lot of other people. Now, besides that, what do the memories? Well, I had shared with Ken and Henny, in fact, this morning also. One of the primary reasons why I wanted to visit was to not only meet President-elect Jennifer and President Brett, but also meet all the members of each club. just to get to know people. Now, I might not have gotten to know each of you on an individual basis, but at least if I was allowed, shake hand, but I'm not still allowed to hug. I love hugging, but that's maybe phase 2. I have all 3. I mean, I have 2 shot vaccine and the booster bonus, but I think the government has to still allow that. So getting to know people was my single biggest reason to be here. And you can't do that on Zoom. So that's the memories I'm going to take back. And it's been a great, great start, because the first 6 clubs is what I started off in the district to get to know the president-elect and all the people in each club. And I hope to replicate this over there. So Barry, to answer your question, my goal is to replicate what I've done in the last 3 days over there. So we'll see. Hope I answered your question.
And Bala, just so you know, we always figure the miracle is sitting beside Barry. Many, many years, Carolyn. And so that takes care of that side. We thank you very much for coming and taking time, getting to meet club members, because I think for the club members, now they know next year when you come in, oh yeah, I met Barry, Bala, he came to our club. So that's great. A couple of the other things that I wanted to let you know about. So next week, Dennis Makoweski is going to be on hand. Dennis has published a book. I believe it's Can You Hear Me in the Back? So I think it'll be a pretty interesting conversation. He is another former teacher who has taken many students across to Europe and stuff like that. So the story should be very interesting. Last week, we pointed out that we have completed the arrangements for 2 scholarships at University of Guelph, the Ridgetown campus. They're doing their presentation tonight, so hopefully we'll have some word as to the recipients of those 2 scholarships. And they have matched our new scholarship, which we named Lulu Nicholson, since she gave us an extremely large amount of money. And the school has matched that. So there's actually 3 scholarships on their way out. Last week, we mentioned Pizza for Polio with the contribution for the club. We are putting $3,500 into polio. And Sons of Kent, under the whole district, they had a push on for Pints for Polio, and that raised $1,002. So that went quite well as well. We had a little licensing issue, which I think has been taken care of, and we're not going to worry about that too much. Sometimes it's beg forgiveness and to move on forward. The other thing that's coming up, November 29, the Chatham Goodfellows are going to be back doing a porch canvas. We always had the area that Keith Koch took care of, and they've asked us to come back and cover that again. So I'll be sending out a notice to see if we can get, Barry, how many do we need? About 10 people?
Yeah, 6 to 10.
6 to 10 people to cover the same area that we've always done for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And the neighborhood is just back over here, just the other side of the school, I believe. We're also trying to work out details for a Christmas social. So that will be around December 8 to 15. And so that will take care of things for today. Is there anything else for the good of Rotary? I think we are all clear. So again, we thank you very much for attending, and stay safe and be well. Take care. Thank you. Yes, we're going to get a picture
you and I
here,
want to
so
take first this